Okay, so I'm here to explain a few things you can do in processing. So, first thing you need to do for this type of code is create a setup function, and you have to put void in front of it because it does not return a variable of any kind. And this setup allows you to create shapes and also call functions, which we do at the very end of this video. And so the first thing you have to do is create a screen size, which in this case I have made 1000 pixels by 600 pixels. And the background I have made white. The color scheme for processing goes from 0 to 255, with 0 being black and 255 being white. The first and one of the most simplest programs you can execute in processing is drawing a line. And all you really need is this line down here, which is line plus 0, 0, and 50, 50. The first two numbers create one endpoint of the line, and the other two numbers create the other endpoint of the line, and the stroke is just to make sure the line is thin and black. For the ellipse, the first two variables determine the center point of the ellipse, and the other two variables determine the width and height of the ellipse. In this case, it makes it a circle since they're both 300. For a rectangle, similar to an ellipse, you need to have the first two variables be the point where your rectangle is, and the other 2 points are your width and height respectively. However, for rectangles, for this standard use, the 100 and 200 determine the starting up top left point of the rectangle and not the center. This loop is a for loop, and it creates a series of lines that go across the screen, and I did a video showing how you can create one of these loops, so you could look up that. Okay, so this big chunk of code creates a rectangle, a triangle, and a circle. The shapes are all different colors, and the circle and triangle are above the rectangle. For generally in processing, if you want a shape to be above another shape and not be covered up, you need to have that shape be drawn after the shape you wanted to cover up. These truth tables, these aren't actually code, but they show how and, or, and not functions work, with the top and farthest left lines being the variable lines. Okay, so this is the only function that I've created in this video. It pretty much is a function where you input two variables, and the output is the two variables added together but then divided by 2. For the assignment, you're supposed to make the variables an integer. However, since the majority of integers, when you divide them by, for at least half of integers, when you divide them by 2, you get a decimal. And so in order to get past that, I made my function use float numbers instead. You can make your function use integers, but it means that you have to make sure your numbers add up to an even number. Okay, so I will hold on. I will run this entire program and show you the different parts that I did. and hopefully it will work. Don't know what that means, but we'll just show you the rest. Okay, so first over here you have your line, which was the easiest code we did. Here's the 300 radius circle with the rectangle that covers part of it. These are the series of lines that are 4 pixels apart and were created using the for loop. And these are the series of shapes. The orangish rectangle and the turquoise circle and the blue triangle. And to get colors, you need to combine the RGB spectrum in the code, but it's sometimes hard to get what specific color you want, and there usually are shortcuts to do this. I didn't have any in my code though. And that's about it. Thank you for watching.